Good morning, YouTube. It's Denise, aka West Coast Rust, coming at you today with my 6-month post-op RNY gastric bypass update. I guess that puts me about 26 weeks, and I'm actually 2 days shy of 6 months from my RNY. Please excuse my cap. It's rainy here, and I just been in a cap kind of mood lately. Let's get to the numbers. My highest weight was 289, and December 7th, 2012, I joined my bariatric program in Corvallis at Samaritan, and I was 264 pounds. Day of surgery, March 8th, 2013, I was 247 pounds. And last week I came at you with a 1 pound gain at 176.5. And today I am 175 even. So that basically, even though it shows a 1.5 pounds loss from last week, before vacation, I was 175.5. So I've lost half a pound net, really, from where I was at my lowest. And I'm fine with that. 6 months has taught me a lot of patience and acceptance of the rate my body is going to lose at. So, figure in I lost really, even if you wanted to count the 1.5 pounds, I know folks that are still fortunate enough to be losing 3 or 4 pounds at 6 months out from an RNY. But I may be pretty close to where I'm going to end up forever. The doctor wants me at 163 or lower. So I'm about 12 pounds shy of where I wanted to be when I hit 6 months. And that's okay. I thought last week, for some reason, I thought that I had another month to go for my 6 months. And then I watched Ginger Mama's video last week and I realized, holy crap, we are at 6 months already. So, I'm a shitload lighter than I was last year at this time. Last year at this time, I probably was pushing 270. And so, I'm almost 100 pounds lighter from that. I'm 114 pounds lighter than when I was at my highest, which was about 1.5 years ago. And I'm 72 pounds lighter since I had surgery. And I'll take it. My surgeon's goal was 10 to 20 pounds a month on average, and I'm still averaging over 10 pounds a month on average, so that's fine, even though now that things are slowing down and I'm starting to hit that last 25, 30 pounds, whatever I end up, because I really don't know where I'm going to end up. It's going to slow down naturally, according to the doctor. I had my blood work done this morning for my 6-month post-op. Interestingly enough, as a diabetic, they were not going to do my A1C. They did my A1C last time and it was 5.6, which is still kind of borderline, but really it's not. I mean, they say from where I was, I'm going to take this stupid thing off and show you my crazy bedhead. From where I was before surgery, I was still in the 8s and probably close to 9. Before I joined my bariatric program, I was 10.2, and that's what really was my wake-up call for myself, saying, hey, you need to do something about this condition that you have or you're going to die. God, my hair is really tweaked out. I'll just leave it like that. I really don't care. I still have to get ready for work. There have been changes for me in my life recently that I don't think they're not weight loss related, and I don't think that they have anything to do with my slower rate of loss or anything like that. But what they are telling me is I have new adventures coming. Like, my son started school on Tuesday, and he rides the special education bus because he's on the autism spectrum, so he really needs to ride a smaller bus. He I was having to send him to childcare all summer long while I was working, and then last school year he would have to ride the bus to childcare, and oftentimes would have to stay there for a couple of hours every day after school. Now my work hours are like 9:45 to 2:15, and he gets out at 3:05. So I can pick him up from school every day now, and that's really, really, really exciting. So once we kind of settle in, I think he catches the bus in the morning at 7:30, and I think I'll be able to either work out in the morning or work out a little bit. I'm thinking about once we get into this routine, because it's only been the last couple days I've been picking him up, walking around that area, because it's a great residential area around his school. When I get off at 2:15, I don't actually pick him up until like 2:50. I pull him a little early so he doesn't have to get caught in the mob of kids getting out at 3:05. And so I'm thinking I might be able to park the van and then just go for a walk. That would be a nice walk every day. And I could even take the dog with me if I wanted, and he could walk with me too. But my goal really is, once he gets on the bus, would be to head to the gym right after that. And I've been kind of hit or miss with the cardio, and I have to jump back on it, because I think the 2nd or somewhere around there is when I take my firefighter exam again, and I really, really want to pass this time. And frankly, it's going to depend on the heart and the lungs, because they were the ones that let me down last time. I let myself down, but you know. One thing I wanted to talk about, especially at 6 months out, is the fact that I think a common thread for a lot of the psychologists when we go to do our psychology appointments, pre-surgery and all of that, one of their biggest fears, and I know my psychologist's biggest fear for me, is that I wouldn't be able to stick with this particular type of eating plan or this program, this way of life, because I had failed on so many before. And we've all failed on so many, otherwise insurance would never cover us, because we have to prove that we've tried to diet and that we've failed. But because I had probably only stuck with something for 3 months, maybe. Ooh, that's not good. Snooze button. My vitamin warning popped up on my phone that I needed to take a vitamin. Thank you, phone, for reminding me. So I have never really done anything for more than maybe 3 months at a time and stuck with it, and then I've just given up for whatever reason. I got bored. A lot of it was I got bored. And I felt deprived, and I just wanted to go and eat everything in the refrigerator in the pantry. 6 months later from my RNY, what I can tell you is this. There hasn't been a day where I felt deprived in 6 months. And if a slower rate of loss, because I eat a little bit more vegetables than 2 tablespoons at a meal, my restriction can be tight on some days and not tight on others, and I can't explain why, other than maybe the moisture content in my food. If my food is more moist, I do believe I can get more in. If it's drier, then I can't. I found that to be very true with eggs. So medium eggs, I can get at least 2 in. If they're scrambled, I'm lucky to get a full egg in, because they're just too dry. So if a slower rate of loss is what I'm going to have before I finally settle into whatever this goal is going to be for me, but I've never felt deprived, or I never feel deprived, then it's acceptable for me. I was very gung-ho in the beginning, and I just wanted to get all the weight off and be at goal and then live. But I'm not quite sure that that's really the right mental approach for me, because then really, what have I taught myself? Have I really practiced the things that are going to keep me successful for the rest of my life in the hardest part of the journey, which is maintenance? I don't think I would be teaching myself those things if I was so gung-ho and I just dropped massive amounts of weight and made it to goal super fast. I don't think so. The healthy habits that I have now, like I still don't have bread, I don't have pasta, I don't have rice, and I don't have potato. I've not introduced those in. Our particular program says do not introduce those in until you're at goal. But I haven't felt the need either. So that speaks volumes to me that I can go 6 months without any of those objects that I loved so much before, especially pasta. Oh my God, you would think I was Italian, although I'm not. But I haven't felt like I needed to have those things. And I think for my long-term success, that's huge. So if it's a pound a week that I'm losing, if it's half a pound a week that I'm losing, if I'm lucky enough to lose 2, 3, 4 pounds a week on an occasion, I'll take whatever it comes to me. I don't want the scale to stop now, although if it did, and I really truly felt like I was doing everything I could, and for whatever reason my body was just like, we're done, I could live. Because there isn't anything I can't do at this point. I can always become more healthier inside, which may not reflect on the scale. And I can always become stronger, and that may not reflect on the scale either, and that's fine. But if the scale went away and I all of a sudden couldn't weigh anymore, and I just had to gauge by how I'm feeling and my clothes and all of that, I would be fine with that. I'm still a daily weigher. I'm not going to lie. I still weigh daily unless I'm on vacation, which I didn't. And I'll weigh when I have accessibility to a scale, to my scale. When I don't have accessibility to my scale, I don't worry about it. If I'm somebody else's house, I don't worry about it. I don't want to weigh on somebody else's scale. Frankly, at that point, I don't care, because really I know whether or not I've been doing something I should have, or if I got my fluids in that day, or if I've had my protein. So I don't need the scale to tell me whether or not I'm doing what I need to do for my body. They took 6 vials of blood today. Seriously, I felt like I got a phlebotomy. It was crazy. They were not going to do my A1C, but I asked them to, so they did, and that's good. I'd like to see it under 5.4. 5.4 would be great, because then I'm truly, healed, basically, for my condition. But it'll always be there, according to my doctor, knocking on my door if I choose to slip back into old habits. And that's a pretty good deterrent for me to not slip. So that's about it. We're at 12 minutes. Holy crap. 6 months out from my RNY. 12, 14 on the bottom. I still have only really bought one extra large top. I've been mostly a 1X because of my boobs. Speaking of boobs, I have a doctor's appointment on Monday to go see my primary care provider, because my boobalubas are so freaking sore for the last few months. And I think it's because I look like a National Geographic magazine without my bra on. And because I was at my heaviest in an F cup. So it's like, triple D, and then next comes like F. So I was that big. And now I have, probably a D cup. But I have all this skin that hangs, and I had stretch marks all the way down my chest, a good portion of it. Thank God you can't see it here, but a good portion of stretch marks all the way down. And then, and so then all the tissue is at the bottom. And I'm thinking that what's going on is the breast tissue is very, very sore. I've been on my birth control for like almost 6 months now, so I know that's not it, because it's just started happening the last couple months. At least I hope that's not it. And I better not be pregnant, because my husband just went through a vasectomy. But I'm still taking the birth control until we find out if Kevin's vasectomy truly is done. And then I really probably will get off of it, because I want my body to be as natural as possible. But I'm going to go see my primary, because if the tissue being at the bottom is an issue, and the gravity issue, I want for my insurance to be able to cover a breast augmentation later, or at least a lift of some kind. I would actually like a bit of a removal. Me personally, I'd like to be kind of a C cup and not be a D cup, but as I lose weight, I may lose more. I personally don't see it, because at 150 pounds, as an 18-year-old, I was still a D cup, so I don't know. I was kind of hoping that I might shrivel up and they could go away, but it never happened, so I'm really sorry for those folks that happens to, because I'm not one of them. Okay, I'm going to get off here. I go see my third surgeon for my post-op, 6 months post-op next Thursday, the 12th. I get my blood results, find out what's going on. I might call, because I'm so freaking impatient. I might call ahead of time to get my blood results, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday before I go. But you guys have a great, great weekend. We're camping again, just locally here, about 5 miles away. And hopefully the weather will clear up, because it's been very rainy and stormy. So take care, be well, be kind, and we will catch you guys next week for week 27, maybe, I guess. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys.